We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are conducting life-changing research that solves the problems of today. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Welcome to the POMcast with Stephen Willis. Now we're going to do things a little different. We are going to provide an honest look at Ole Miss athletics for the fan, by the fan, and of the fan. That is what we do. Hell be to me. I'm just kidding. Tune in for some Ole Miss sports news. We're going to give it to you straight. Yeah, right now. The POMcast starts now. It happens now. Holy cow. Listen to me. It's starting. Well, it's going to start right about now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the POMcast. I am your host on this magical mystery tour we call Ole Miss Sports, Stephen Willis. From the palatial Central Florida studios, I'm happy for you to join me at the moment, and we have a lot to get to today. The numbers are in for May. We have won the market of Ole Miss coverage out there. Most viewership. That is fantastic. Thank you. And also, I'm excited to say we had 100% growth in both the podcast and the viewership. It's starting to get very high numbers on the count, and if it continues and we do it again, all of a sudden we are in major streaming territory. So thank you very much for that. You just humble the heck out of me, and I just wanted to say thank you for that. Today on the podcast, we're going to talk a little bit about the regional. We're going to hear from the team and what they have planned and what they're thinking about going into the regional. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the regional. If you want an in-depth breakdown, I have a nice little selection show reaction and regional preview that's there. We pinned it on the YouTube page as well. So thank you very much. Also, several subscribers on YouTube yesterday. Thank you very much. And I mean, it's just fantastic. The rate we're growing and the momentum we have is just fantastic. And what you need to know is if I'm doing my job correctly, others are going to raise your game and provide additional coverage. And that is starting to happen as well. And it's a completely reactionary thing to what I am doing. So that's going to help everybody. A rising tide lifts all ships. So if they're doing a little bit better, good for them. But we're going to keep doing what we're doing. This morning we had a little technological snafu and was unable to get Liberty. So we're put that on the back burner. We still have the Mazodcast to talk to today. Cole Kublik talking to today. And this week we're talking Tennessee, and we're still trying to set up a time for Josh Booty to talk LSU. So that's coming in the near future. We do not want to inundate you with baseball with the regional. I know that's fun to say whenever that's happening, but we don't want to inundate you with baseball. So we have some football in the second segment where we're going to talk about pass catchers and something we need to look forward to, and potentially two starters are late enrollees that we haven't even seen yet. So I'm curious about that, and I'm ready to see that. And today is the end of the dead period. You can recruit. We're working with Leanne Herring to do a recruiting show on this page as well. That's going to come once we have more information and everything starts going pretty much after everything flushes out after this initial surge. So stay tuned to us about that. Now, before I get started anymore, I want to tell you about the Vault Society. That's a big push for the Ole Miss Athletic Foundation. And what it is a 5-year commitment of support and $5,000 per year. And there's a benefit chart on the site. Now, what's the site? We're going to give that to you in a second. All gifts to Ole Miss between now and June 30th will receive triple points. Red points are non-deductible and go towards priority seating. Blue points are 90% tax deductible and go towards parking and non-home ticketed games. Hint regional. Hint Labor Day. So if you have any questions about that, go to give2athletics.com. Again, that website is give2athletics.com. As always, you can catch us on Twitter at the Stephen Willis or at the Rebel Walk. Catch us on Facebook at facebook.com/POMcast or the Rebel Walk. We have a Discord called Positively Ole Miss if you want to have a chat. Sometimes we open up the chat room on here, and you can just go and it displays on the screen. We have a YouTube page, Positively Ole Miss, and Willis Digital Media. Hit the bell, subscribe, please. You'll not only know that we're streaming, you'll know what we're streaming about and whether or not you need to pay attention. This is, it's a free program. I understand that people have things they need to do. Also, we're on Twitch at Positively Ole Miss and Willis Digital Media. We catch us on podcasts at Google Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, and Pandora. We're also on minor podcatchers, but it would take the whole show to name them. So, all right. So, Ole Miss, their regional foes have been announced. Ole Miss, Southern Miss, Florida State, and Southeast Missouri are in the Oxford Regional this year. You can see the profiles over there. We also used them for our regional preview show that we just did. You can catch that down there. And there's going to be plenty of information. And if you have any questions, where we're located just pops in. So there's many different opportunities for you to see the selection show preview. So I've been sitting here thinking back and forth, and I've been on team start Doug Nikhazy game one regardless, and I am more ironclad set start Doug Nikhazy regardless because of this, and only because of this. Not doing it sends a message that you need him to beat a team that is a 2 seed or a 3 seed. It sends a terrible message. When all year, you've been doing it a certain way, now all of a sudden it's going to change. The Friday night guy is going to be Derek Diamond or something. Now, the 2-3 game is situated in such a way to where their aces have to be thrown. So you're dealing with their number 2. So your number 2 against their number 2, you should win that every time. You have better pitching. Now, we're not talking about hindsight, something got away, a bad performance, but if you look at it on paper, you have the advantage. So why make a, for lack of a better word, fearful looking decision to pitch him in the 2 against the 2 or the 3 and not against SEMO whenever you could just throw him? And so I'm still on that train. I'm still believing that, and we talked a little bit about that in the preview show yesterday. If you want to hear more about that, you can tune in to that. It's actually pinned on my Twitter page. Just you can go in there and click that and watch it if you want to real quick. But that's my thought on that. But we heard from Mike Bianco, Tim Olko, and Doug Nikhazy yesterday, and they kind of echoed what I'm saying. There's an excitement about this team. They're not really concerned about the draw. Everybody's worried about a tough draw. No, it's a 2, a 3, and a 4. You're better than all 4 of the teams. Are they good 2s, 3s, and 4s? Yeah, probably. But it's not like they're going to do 4 1s in this regional. It's going to be tough teams no matter who you play. It's going to be talent teams no matter who you play. The Starkville Regional could end up being the toughest regional out of all of them. People just do not know at this point. So go out there, play the game, play hard, play well. You got to play well to win no matter who's coming to Oxford, and see where the chips fall. All right, we're going to do the press conference highlights and hear what they have to say, and then we'll talk a little bit more after that.
Well, one, just proud of our guys, to host. I read Sim's, tweet the other day, for the 10th time in, I think, 16 years. So quite an accomplishment for our guys. And as far as the field, we're still learning. Southeast Missouri, obviously, very good 4 seed, conference pitcher of the year, conference champion. Team that's played Arkansas and others, and had a terrific year. Obviously, Southern Miss, because we didn't play Southern this year, we don't know as much about them. But reading over the course of the year, they've pitched it great. Florida State the same, and might have the Golden Spikes Award winner on their team as well. So just a really, really good field, really competitive. And I think the thing that stands out is all three teams really, really pitch it.
Oh, everybody's fired up. Everybody's super excited, especially all the young guys and people who haven't been able to experience, a regional here at Swayze. Because us older guys know that it gets pretty fun. It's pretty crazy. A lot of people, great environment, and we're all pretty fired up for it. Excited. It's postseason baseball. And we got a couple of good teams coming in, and that's how it's always going to be. It's never going to be easy when you're trying to get to Omaha. So we're ready for those teams to come in, and some good competition. But we're a really good team as well. So we're ready to get after it.
Yeah, we just like you. We heard less than an hour ago, and so I think it wouldn't be smart to rush to figure that out quite yet. With Derek and Drew and Doug throwing so early in the week, and all of them, regardless of what day they throw, would have plenty of rest. I don't think it's critical. We'll decide, this evening at some point because, the guy that throws Friday is going to throw a bullpen tomorrow.
Oh, well, it was just really exciting. For me, I think a lot of those teams that are coming in, they're really good talent. And I love like competition and like these good teams rolling in. I never want it to be easy. We just want to like play good teams. So I'm excited. And I think the overall vibe was really good when we got a bunch of good teams coming in. The body feels really good. The short rest for me really ended up being one of those sort of outings for me that I felt a little bit crisper because it was less time in between outings. So I felt really crisp and sharp when I was on the mound. And when you feel like that, then you really can't even really think that much about your body. But now with more time to look after it, like I feel great, and now I'm excited that I have this long period of time before the next outing. So a lot of good recovery time for the body heading into postseason.
I don't think so. I think they're anxious to see, who they play, like everyone. But, I didn't feel that in the room. I think, they're excited. And one of the things that, this team, this group, because every team's different, as you know, Parrish, but this team's, has this unique feel about it, vibe about it, where there's a subtle confidence in them. They just love to play. And, so I don't think was a lot of drama to it. If that's what we're alluding to or trying to get to, I think they were anxious to see who the opponent was. But then after that, I actually had to tell them to stop talking. They're talking throughout the thing, and I'm trying to listen to the comments and the brackets, and but good for them. They're worried about what's in their dugouts, which is
and do what needs to be done, play well, go out there and win the series. I mean, you just faced Arkansas and Vanderbilt in like the last 3 games. There's nobody walking through the door like that. You might have a Golden Spikes winner at Florida State pitch around him. They don't have great bats. They throw the ball fairly well. Number 4 has an ace. Make him throw pitches. I mean, I think his season high is 119 pitches. Make him work. It's nothing this offense can't handle. So everybody, I guess, wanted it to be easy and a sure thing, but it was never going to be a sure thing. All the teams in this tournament are good. They wouldn't be in the tournament if they weren't. But teams in the top 8 of the SEC tournament were better. I see no reason why Ole Miss still is not the clear and above favorite for Tucson. I'll have to put together my thoughts about the Tucson Super Regional if it happens. Now, I'm not saying Ole Miss can't lose the regional. I mean, we've all seen situations where bad things happen, people don't perform. But also, I think, Doug Nikhazy is a tone setter. And everybody's worried, but there's this narrative there's not enough pitching. Well, you saw in the SEC tournament that there's enough pitching to get through. Holding Arkansas to 3 runs, it's nothing to sneeze at. And that was with Cody Adcock starting and giving you a fantastic performance. Before that, Tyler Myers gave you a fantastic performance. Just something to keep in mind. College sports are all about confidence. Remember that. Go into the series with confidence with the players and help lift them up. That's my advice to everybody, just my opinion. But we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the pass catchers at Ole Miss. I'm kind of looking forward to that. And whenever we get back with the show, we're going to break it all down. So anyway, stick around. We'll be right back.
You want to answer that, don't you? I bet it's just killing you seeing the soft glow just inches away. Someone wants to tell you something or ask you something. Oh, come on, answer it already! Just so we're clear, that wasn't my fault. Next time, ignore your inner voice. Don't text and drive. A message from Florida's trusted choice independent insurance agents.
Hey, this is Stephen Willis. I just want you to stick around a little longer. We're going to get back to the podcast right after these messages.
Tonight, nearly 40,000 veterans across the country are homeless. These men and women have pledged to serve our nation, and now we must serve them. Landlords across the country have helped make significant progress in reducing veteran homelessness by making housing available, but there is more that we can do to bring our veterans home. Visit www.va.gov/homeless to see how you can get involved. And if you are a veteran and you are experiencing homelessness, please call 877-4AID-VET. Thank you.
All right, welcome back to the POMcast. I'm, of course, your host, Stephen Willis, as it says right there. Thank you very much for coming in today. And we're going to talk a little football in this second segment of this show. I'm going to wax poetic, basically, about the wide receiver position. Because everybody has questions about the positions and what does it mean. Like, you didn't really see the answer in spring because all the receivers were white shirts. Lane Kiffin actually did a quite brilliant thing by eliminating the running back room and making the wide receivers non-contact. It essentially made that film worthless. I mean, it was quite brilliant. And with one thing you need to realize with this offense, it's so dictated on tempo. It's actually a fairly simple offense. Now, there's wrinkles that's thrown in. I'm not saying there's not. But it's actually a fairly simple offense. And it starts with the run game, works with double moves on the outside, and you torture the linebackers by getting behind them with the slot and the tight end. And that is some version of that is every pass play that we have. And it just works, and it's because the run game tortures those linebackers. They can't be right. If they go back to cover that slot receiver and tight end, the running back has the room because they're not going to fit their hole. If they come up to fit their run game, the wide receiver and the tight end are going to come in and be wide open. You saw this all last year. It's actually a very simple concept, but it's designed to make the linebackers never be right. It's supposed to torture them, and it's supposed to be a game where they just want it to be over. And by the end of it, it gets more and more, especially once they get tired, it gets more and more. So the tempo and everything going on is quite interesting. But Braylon Brown and J.J. Henry, I believe, moved in yesterday. If I'm mistaken on that, I apologize, but I think they moved in yesterday. And those are two guys that are going to compete for starting positions. Yeah, I just said that. They're going to compete for starting positions. J.J. Henry is a Jalen Waddle type slot, period. He's a super burner. He's going to torture people is exactly what you want. Elijah Moore actually was not the prototypical slot for this offense. The prototypical slot for this offense was the Jalen Waddle type slot, which is the J.J. Henry type slot. So now you have an even quicker wide receiver on those linebackers that they have to keep the corner their eye on. Then at tight end, Casey Kelly got injured after the Outback Bowl. You do have Chase Rogers. You do have I can't forget it. I forgot his name, but the kid from Tennessee that's a true freshman, Hudson Wolf, got it. And I don't know if anything's going to happen. There was like 6 months of rumors that a transfer tight end was going to come in, and it's just a reminder there's not really an insider at the moment in the football program that truly knows what's going on. They're hitting it about 20%. So just take that into account. But, Ole Miss could use a transfer tight end moving forward. I think you look on the outside in, that is what you see. Now, the flip side of that is the coaches might have seen something from Hudson Wolf. It's like, he can do this. He's just like the Mackey winner that we had at FAU that's in Cleveland right now. He can do this. And if he can, they're going to let him do it because they're going to play young people. Remember, the 3 things this program is built on: competition, having fun, and pro mindset. Which means pro mindset, do your job every day. Don't have anybody have to tell you where to be or what to do. Enjoyment, have fun. Generally, just have fun on the football field. You're playing a game, act like it. And competition, no starting position is set in stone. Every day at practice is a competition. You see it with a softball game on Thursday. You see it with a relay race. Everything is built around competition. That is the hallmark of the culture of this program, and you saw how much it went up from 2019 to 2020. We need to take a step in 2021 whenever we step into the Georgia Dome against Louisville. But I digress. J.J. Henry and Braylon Brown. Braylon Brown should have been, I think he would have been a 5-star if all the camp circuits and everything didn't get shut down. If it wasn't so weird, he would have been a 5-star because the kid has extreme talent. He has probably as much talent as anybody that's come through Ole Miss since probably AJ or DK. He's like a combination of both. He's an outside receiver. He's going to be a double move guy. He could actually play inside if he had to. And, he's a heck of a player. Now, I say that, and everybody's like, well, what about Jonathan Mingo, Braylon Sanders, and Dontarie Drummond? This whole program is built around competition. They are always signing your replacement. No matter what you're doing, you need to go to work every day because they are constantly looking to replace you. That's just the way it's going to work in the system. So Braylon Brown is a fantastic outside receiver. I'm very impressed with him. I'm looking forward. And my favorite player in all the signing class is J.J. Henry. I want to see him work. I need to see how quickly they can adapt to the Ole Miss system. Now, them coming in the summer puts them a little behind the eight ball. I understand that. You look at like Mark Britt last year with no spring practice. He struggled a little bit, went over the defensive side of the ball. Now he's back on the offensive side of the ball. Anyway, though, also Jonathan Mingo, it's time for him to show up. It just really is. He's got all the talent in the world. It's time for it to show up on Saturdays. Same goes for Dennis Jackson. He was all the rage during spring practice, making great catches, and honestly looked a ton like DeMarcus Lodge out there. He needs to make plays when the lights come on, when people come on. He did not have a great spring game. I do not know why. We'll see whenever fall camp starts. But we're reaching the point of summer where the player camaraderie takes effect. And we have a leader in Matt Corral. That's the biggest jump from 2019 to 2020. And the reason we were able to go to the Outback Bowl was the maturity jump in Matt Corral. Him taking upon himself the pro mindset part of the culture. Him buying completely into what Lane Kiffin was selling. That's the reason we were able to make a jump. And that's the reason he was able to make a jump. Now, in 2019, the reason he lost the job is because he would randomly change plays. He would get the call from the sideline and say, no, I don't like that. We need to do this. And that is a tough situation for anybody. But when Lane Kiffin got in with this offense, he bought completely in and went from a guy that got replaced by John Rice Plumlee in 2019 to the top returning QBR quarterback right now. Fantastic growth. Unbelievable. So I'm all here for you, Matt. But those receivers are going to tell the tale. He's had that safety blanket of Elijah Moore his whole time in college. Well, Elijah Moore is gone. We have to find a tight end and we have to find somebody else. Because on the outside, it's going to be a little bit different. Everybody's expecting big things from Dontario German and Braylon Sanders. I am as well. But the competition in that room in the fall could be something very fun to see. And I am, for one, looking forward to it. Before I give you a couple minutes back, I do want to share this. I got this, off of Facebook. And it's the left foot down play, all drawn out. It was very cool. I forget the name it was there, but it is really cool thing, but it shows the left foot down, the Senquez Golson interception that sealed the win. So that's one little cool piece of memorabilia I've picked up over the years. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes back. Thank you very much for watching. Remember, later in the week we have Cole Kublick, Mazodcast, and a Tennessee preview coming along with all the normal, usual baseball stuff. So thank you very much, and hotty toddy.